All right, guys, it's happening right now. We have some absolutely insane data coming out for BlackRock and Fidelity. And we also have a technical push happening right now that you guys need to be aware of so we can make the most amount of money in this space. Please remember, nothing in my videos is financial advice, because obviously I'm not your financial advisor. But look at this, guys. We are again retesting our upper resistance for our wedge that we've been watching. We may very well be seeing the breakout right now at 69,300. We're gonna have to wait a little bit of time here. We've got to be a little bit patient to see if we break out, have a little retest, and then head upwards. Of course, yesterday we had our little fake out here, and as I explained in this morning's video, go back and watch that. But as I explained in that video, we push upwards, everyone gets long on the retest, which we see here, and then what actually happens is, turns out to be a fake out, but because people put their stop losses in this position, it fakes out, it goes down, it hits the stop losses, the manipulators and the exchanges make a bunch of money, and then we push back upwards again. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So hopefully we break out of it this time. And if we look at even a closer look here, we broke out of the 1 hour wedge, and we did now testing our $69,000 resistance, hopefully flipping it into a support coming next. Now, there's a few things that are happening right now. We do have a couple trades open. We got our Ethereum trade open. That is just basically traveling sideways. I think this looks very bullish for me. Consolidation pattern here. So I'm just waiting to see what happens with these trades that we have open. We also have our front trade that we're doing here. We did make a lot of money yesterday on this, over $3,000 in profit. And then the one before that, we made about $2,500, so about $5,000 in profit. $600 in unrealized right now, and I keep this up to date. Every time I make a little change here, I'm doing it quite actively because I'm trading this right now. I update it in my Patreon, which is linked down there in the description. So we've made a boatload of money there, about $5,000 so far in the last 2 days just on that trade. And guys, look, I opened all of these trades here. These are smaller positions than I would normally do in my private portfolios, but I opened these trades to show you what's possible with leverage. Look at this. We have our Bitcoin trade in $1,000 of realized profit. Ethereum trade just under $2,000 in realized profit. Doge trade over $800 in realized. We got our Sui trade here, $2,000 in realized. We got our Say trade here, $250 in unrealized loss. Gonna not win all of them, of course. Core, we got $100 unrealized, and then front here, $3,000 in realized profit. So this is what's possible when you trade with leverage and you know what you're doing. You keep concise, you actually figure out your trading style and opportunity, and you actually go out there and do it. You don't get over leveraged. You can just use small amounts of margin and you can learn. So with that said, if you do want to trade, I suggest Margex as one of the exchanges that you use. It's good to have a different set of exchanges that you use, so if something happens you can always switch over, but Margex is the one that I like right now. I can trade from anywhere in the world. I have access to this. I don't need to provide any personal details, no KYC, no VPN, nothing like that. I can just get on here, deposit some crypto and start trading, and you can actually claim up to $10,000 worth of a deposit bonus if you do follow my link down there in the description. Now, we got some big stuff happening, all right, guys? We got some big old stuff happening. Look at this. First of all, US banks have over 500 billion of unrealized losses, mostly due to mortgage-backed securities. And at last, 63 banks are on the verge of bankruptcy. High interest rates are threatening the US economy. So first of all, interest rates are probably going to start coming down. But second of all, do you really want to be trusting all of your money with banks? I know when we grew up, it just seemed normal. It just seemed normal. Banks were this entity that looked after our money. They were there for us. They would never do us any wrong. But now sitting here, I'm like, what is going on? This is absolutely wild. I don't want banks to have, I feel so unsafe having any amount of money in banks. I want to have my money. I want to have access to it whenever I want it. I want to spend it when I want it. I want to keep it when I want it, and I want no one to know. The only way I can do that is holding Bitcoin and a select few other cryptos, all right? That's why I think, and I am so bullish on crypto, and I think that this is just gonna lead to much more investors. More and more people with money are gonna pull their money out of banks, and they're gonna realize their literal only place to put it is watches. They can put it in physical gold and have it like in their house, but how are they gonna move around with that? And then they're gonna stumble upon Bitcoin and be like, wait, I can just have like $1 billion in this and no one even knows. And I think the world is going there. I could be completely wrong, but I do think it's going there. We also have the US Bitcoin ETFs purchased. The US Bitcoin ETFs purchased Bitcoin for 15 consecutive trading days, right? green across the board. Look at this, 15 days of pure inflows. And do you want to know what's absolutely nuts? Absolute, not that, but this. Bitcoin ETFs make 26% of BlackRock's 2024 inflows. Guys, BlackRock has trillions of dollars. And this year, since they've launched their ETF, 26% of the people who have invested into BlackRock have gone into the Bitcoin ETFs. 56% of Fidelity's has been their Bitcoin ETF. What I'm talking about with these people realizing about their money, it's happening, guys. All the people who didn't bother buying Bitcoin, didn't bother buying all this crypto in the last runs because they had to start a Binance account. They had to provide their details to some random entity on the internet. Now can buy Bitcoin. Our parents can just buy Bitcoin if they have a brokerage. They can buy Bitcoin through their banking apps, right? The ones that have access to this. It's unreal, and the supply crunch is going to go nuts. Bitcoin active addresses plummet to a 5-year low. No one is using or moving their Bitcoin. They're buying it and they're holding it. And we also have billionaire Chamath. He's bullish, but he believes Bitcoin can reach $500,000 by 2025. That's a year and a half away, the end of 2025, right? So the price of Bitcoin today sits at 69,500. It's pushing up. It's breaking up. We're breaking out. Be patient. First of all, we want to see us break 69,600 and then hopefully 70,300. But it's around that $69,000 region, all right? If it gets to $500,000, what difference does it make if you buy it today and tomorrow it drops down to 60? Doesn't make any difference whatsoever as long as you have that long-term mindset. We have seen that simply dollar cost averaging into projects we believe in over the long term is what makes the most amount of money, and it's easy money. It does, however, take risk, and there is risk. You could lose everything. Crypto could go to zero. But if you're using money you can afford to lose, and you have, let's say, a 5 to 10 year outlook, you're just buying and holding. Buying and holding. In fact, when we see euphoric moments in the market like we saw in 2021, you're taking profits. You're then holding that profit, waiting for the big old dip, and then buying and holding. Buying and holding. That's what we do on this channel. I show you when I buy, I show you when I sell, so smash that subscribe button. But this is how we make money over the long term, guys. And with that said, guys, if we do head downwards and you happen to buy it on a day like today at $69,000 and we do head down, which is still possible, that is your opportunity to dollar cost average. I'm not telling you to buy here and I'm not telling you to buy here, but if you buy here, you should be buying at 60. You should be buying at 50. You should be buying at 40, 30, 20, 10, whatever. Do not buy now if you won't buy the dip. There's just no point, all right? And the reason why I think there is still a possibility of a dip is simply because we have $10 billion worth of accumulative long liquidations sitting at $60,000. That doesn't mean it's definitely going to come, but all the way down, there's going to be liquidations that people who manipulate this market want to hit. So be prepared for that. If it doesn't break out and we head down, that is the opportunity you have been waiting for. Don't get fudded out of the market. Don't get scared. This is normal. Every time in history, if you had have bought Bitcoin at any point in history, apart from probably like 2 weeks in total, right? 2 weeks in total. Look at this, right? We're at 69K. So here we have, look at this. So what is this? That's 6 days plus 7 days. So let's call that 2 weeks plus another 5 days plus just here 4 days. So about 3 weeks in total in the history of Bitcoin and crypto would you have lost money if you bought. All right. So who knows what's going to happen next, but as you can tell, I'm extremely bullish. Hopefully you guys are too. Nothing in my video is financial advice. Let me know if you have any questions down there in the comment section. Come over and join the Patreon if you want to stay up to date with what I'm doing in this market, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.